someone like a Saiteja Mukamala, born and bred here in the United States. He's softly spoken, he's quite a quiet kind of guy, but he's incredibly effective. It's just his 8th T20, but he's got off to a flying start already. 250s to his name. He'd love to add a third tonight. That would give USA a real chance in this chase. You know the American domestic scene very well. Is he someone who's kind of really inspiring the other young teenage cricketers? I know he's 20 now, but right the way across America.
Well, he's always had that name of the best domestic bat in his under-19 class. I actually played some cricket with him. I have his wicket on a scorecard. I won't tell you how it happened because it might not be something I'm proud of, but the wicket itself was good. I have Saiteja Mukamala, so anytime he scores a 50, I'll send him a screenshot of that itself.
Where was that caught? Right on the boundary?
No, it was caught by the keeper, Lynn. It was caught by the keeper. Again, how did it get to the keeper? We'll never know. But
trying to scoop you for 6 or something, was he?
But he has, again, made a name for himself very quickly all the way throughout his career.
That's straight to KC, who misfields a cover, but it won't cost anything more than the single as Powdell helps him out. It gets us to the end of the power play. USA have edged that phase of the game. And with 6 overs bowled, it's 52 for 1.
अब पैसा भन्ने कुरा जुन बेला पनि चाहिन सक्छ ठाउँको ठाउँ पैसा पठाउन मिल्ने फोन पे त मेरो लागि एकदमै सजिलो उपाय हो
पैसा पठाउने र पाउने छिटो सजिलो र सुरक्षित माध्यम फोन पे डाइरेक्ट नगद छोडौं फोन पे गरौं
$52 for 1. At the end of the power play, USA in pursuit of a target of 171 here in the second T20I in the Stake Stars and Summits series at Grand Prairie Stadium. Peter Delapeno alongside Ahmed Patel as Gulshan Jha, who has had some sharp bursts with both bat and ball so far in the series. And he comes on at the racecourse end to begin the 7th over against Sai Mukamala. And another audacious drive. It's not going to go all the way, but it will land safely, and he'll collect an adventurous 2.
Yeah, was in the air for a while, but again, that's the bigger side of the ground over there that he's hitting into. So knew the fielders had a long way to go. And if it's pitched up outside the off stump, he's not going to shy away from playing that lofted cover drive. It's his favorite stroke. And he's getting into a good rhythm here. It's a good battle, this. 2 young cricketers, a future of both Nepal cricket, Gulshan Jha and Saiteja Mukamala, 18 and 20 respectively. A battle we could see for years to come here between these 2 countries.
And this is what I like even more about Mukamala. You look at his strike rate over the last couple tours for USA in the Netherlands and Namibia, and you would think by looking at the scorecard, he's slogging the ball all over the place. And yet, in reality, he's extremely efficient because he doesn't block, he doesn't waste deliveries, he's looking to score off every ball. He's not going to try and heave across the line, but something like that, just that tap and run single. If he can't hit it for 4, he can't hit it for 6, he's not going to just chew it up. He's always looking to score somehow and keep the run rate moving, and that's why he's been undroppable, even with the return to health of Stephen Taylor. House, for a moment, looked like he might have had his heart in his mouth as that one was headed towards the fine leg fielder, but it clears him to go for 4.
Well, Andres Kraus had a disappointing first delivery from Gulshan Jha 2 nights ago. It was a half-tracker that was wide that just he placed straight to backward point. This time, got one sliding down the leg side, and he's helped it over the ring for 4 runs. Just enough elevation on it. Something you have to watch for with Gulshan Jha bowling, but again, a good partnership brewing. This is what was missing from the USA's match in that first game. They just didn't get this from their top order, and so far, 24 apiece from number 1 and number 3.
Another single is going to be milked into that short cover region to get Mukamala back on strike. Yeah, Sagadaka was the fielder at fine leg. you might need to be Victor Wembanyama to catch that one. You need to be a 7-footer.
I'm not sure Wemby was going to get up there either. Peter would have to get the vertical going as well. But, again, very nervy there from Andres Kels. Didn't quite get the elevation he was looking for. But your point about Saitej and Mukamala getting those singles consistently, I think that's been the brilliance about this partnership as well. They haven't just been boundaries or nothing. They've been able to milk those singles, similar to what we saw from Rohit Baldo and Dipender Singh Airi in that first game, where they just found gaps consistently.
Good change of pace from Gulshan Jah here. We're not too far from San Antonio. Do you think we can get Wemby to make the trek up to Grand Prairie at some point? If he's got an off day with the Spurs, you think he might be able to come up here and be enticed into watching some cricket?
Well, the problem is we're past preseason basketball. We're headed into the regular season, and Wemby's come out with the quote where he says he's surprised at how little the guys he idolized worked on their game. And he's like, I don't want to be like that, so I don't think you're going to pry him out of San Antonio during basketball season. But if you can get out here, you should. It's an incredible atmosphere between these two.
Too wide, as Gulshan Jah not happy with the umpire stretching his arms out. Samir Bandikar gives a bonus run to USA, and it's going to extend the over by one legal delivery.
Yeah, again, very marginal. This could have really gone either way.
Well,
I reckon it's probably cut in and then late movement outside the line. And we've seen a couple of close ones. Harmeet Singh wasn't happy with his wide. Gulshan Jah unhappy with this. I think he's got a little bit more say in the matter.
this time it is playable, and it's going to be picked up by the cover sweeper, who will relay it in. Rijan Dakel finishes the over. 9 off the bat, 10 in the over. It's 62 for 1 after 7.
Bye-bye.
Introducing new Honda Dio 125.
सही खोजौं शुद्ध रोजौं मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
Cricketer in the United States, young top order batter, where it was a lot of balls wasted, low strike rates but high scores. And since playing more and more minor league cricket, more and more T20 cricket, he started to up the ante, getting those singles, those doubles, and then getting boundaries alongside them.
Sagar Dakel into the attack. It was tremendous on Thursday night. Didn't take any wickets, but his economy was superb in tying down USA's order at a crucial juncture of the match. Drags this one down, and Mukamala on another day would have been able to yank that past fine leg. Instead, it trickles out to deep square leg for one. Yeah, coming into tonight, strike rate of 145.94 and 7 T20Is for Mukamala. And that might surprise some people who, like you said, have been following minor league cricket over the course of the first several seasons, because playing for the New Jersey Stallions, batting at number 3, albeit on some thick outfields, not always playing on natural turf, scoring is difficult. And he was somebody who was striking it at about a run a ball. He was not a very quick scorer. But as you said, he's taken some of the lessons learned from playing minor league cricket and adjusted his game. And he hasn't gotten a game yet in Major League Cricket. He's been part of the Texas Super Kings squad for 2 years. All these performances have come really since the end of Major League Cricket. And you'd like to think, heading into year 3 for Major League Cricket, if he's retained in the Super Kings squad, which we expect he will be, not only will they retain him, I would expect him to make it into the 11 and make an impact on the field for the Super Kings.
Yeah, well, he was the very last pick in that year 1 draft, and I'm sure that's weighing on his mind, but it'll be hard to crack that opening partnership of Faf du Plessis and Devin Conway.
Oh, Andres House has cracked this one high and deep over long on. His third 6, and how?
Well, we saw him do something similar to Kushal Bortel when he got too short in match number 1. Sagar Dakel, he's trying to be quicker through the air, but this time It's just stuck in the hands. It's just dipped on him. And Andres Kraus got into position early. And again, that's a shot of liking. When he gets onto the back foot against a spinner, you can just count your blessings because you're just wondering about how far it's going to go, not if it's going to go to any fielder.
You can get some good steak down here in Texas. That was red meat for Andres Kraus. He gobbled that one up, spit it back out well beyond the rope. He's looking mighty impressive. And another thing that this partnership is making a lot of USA fans think about, Aman, is why did Monak Patel push himself back into the opening role coming back from injury? Because this partnership was mighty successful down in Namibia, opening the batting together in the absence of Monak Patel. And I think a lot of people were under the impression that they would continue with that partnership, even with Monak Patel back healthy. And the way these two are batting together right now, I'm sure it's giving food for thought, not only for the captain, but for Stuart Law, the USA coach. 9 runs in the over, 71 for 1 after 8.
Senior, picture please. Picture coming. Picture.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
Mamma mia.
The best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut. There's something for everyone.
In Grand Prairie, and yeah, a lot of the conversation will be Monak Patel. Does he slide back into the opening role as Gustin Jia continues?
And Saimo Kamala continues as well. Drives this one and overrunning it. Karen KC nearly turned disastrous. He only gives up one extra run on that occasion, nearly turned into a boundary, but he recovers well enough to keep it to just 2.
Well, we saw Jesse Singh overrun one in the first innings. Karan KC, he's already misfielded one. This won't do his confidence nor the Nepal fans any good. He's able to keep it from trickling to the boundary. A couple of times we've seen that Harmeet Singh in the first innings. Jesse Singh we mentioned. Karan KC, though, on it, keeping it to just the extra run.
A little bit of extra gas on this delivery from Gulshan.
Yeah, you can see the idea here from Mukamala. He's changing where he is on the crease. He'll step out one delivery and the next one. He'll be in, trying to get to the ball. He typically doesn't step all the way over to that off stump. Typically will step on to middle stump if he does step out at all. And Gulshan Jia has been very clever with the way he's bowled. He's bowled the cutters well. He's used a couple seam-up deliveries. And he's a bright, young cricketer. Both of these two in the middle at the moment.
Change of pace. And he's winning the battle with Mukamala at the moment, keeping the youngster off balance. Very clever bowling here from Gulshan Jia.
Yeah, Mukamala's trying to play this very late through covers, trying to get it in between that sweeper cover and mid-off. But you see this, that late cut, and again, the change of pace. He's utilized it so well, Gulshan Jia. The big, tall man, he runs them with the head of steam, but his ability to pull the slower one has made him such a valuable asset for this Nepali side that's littered with pace bowlers. You get a guy who can do this in the middle, something the USA maybe lacks, is such a key value.
Kamala finally plays a release shot out to deep mid-wicket, but he's only going to get one for it. Field alignment for Nepal on the boundary. They've got a deep backward square leg, a deep mid-wicket, a very wide long on. Kushal Bertel out there on the straight boundary. They've got a cover sweeper in place, and then Karen KC is at a very straight long off. And then inside the ring, fine leg, short third, backward point, extra cover. Nobody in the ring in front of square on the leg side, but that is the short boundary. It's very difficult to tap and get to. House. It's where he got out the other night. This time it bounces short of Irie.
You can see the adjustment from Andres House, though. Again, you saw him very eager to get his hands out this time. Waited on it. You'll see it right here. Again, waited on the cutter, let it get under his eyes, and then used his hands to guide it straight to the ground. But Depinder Singh Airi is so quick, there's never a run there. Something that he actually spoke about in between the games, that he never really played against Nepal before. Didn't really know about the class of the fielding, and now you can see a much more concerted effort to not run against Airi.
And they're not going to take on the captain either. Paldo does the fielding. 3 runs in the over. 74 for 1 after 9.
ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गरौ
प्राकृतिक राख भएको विश्वासिलो गुणस्तरीय अनि राम्रो नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ भारत साउजी
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
The target 171. They're much more positive than they were 2 nights ago as Sagar Dakal begins his second. And Mukamala continues to remain positive, using his feet there. Beaten in flight, but still went through with the shot and collects a single down to the ground.
Yeah, I look at this USA side right now, and they're doing exactly what's asked of them. They're ahead of where Nepal was at this stage. Nepal at the end of 9 were 53 for 1. Obviously, the 75 runs on the board now, and it was the surge in over number 12 that got Nepal really ahead of the game. When Gulshan Jha was able to find a couple of boundaries, they jumped from 68 to 84 runs, and if the USA can just keep holding on to this, and this partnership continues to grow, they're going to be in a good platform for an aggressive Milind Kumar, an aggressive Aaron Jones, Shahin Jahangir, who's coming off of brilliant innings. This is the USA team that we've come to know over the last month, Peter.
You can see the way Sagar Dakal's bowling. He's targeting the legs. And not on that occasion, and pays the price for it. You can't offer width. Going to the short side of the ground, and Sai Mukamala only too happy to get some on that delivery. Deposits it over extra cover for 6.
And this has been the evolution of Mukamala's game, the ability to have this kind of power on the back foot. He's always been a great timer, but this one is his ability to lift it over the top of cover. So even if he got it too straight to the fielder, it's over the top of him.
Yeah, much better, much tighter to the stumps that time. He's got to keep it very straight, almost on middle and leg stump, because to the leg side for the right-handers at this end, you're hitting to an 82-yard boundary. And if you give it width outside off, it's only 64 yards. That's why it was so easy for him to clear the ropes on the previous delivery. Big appeal. Not out, says Aditya Gajar. And Mukamala, boy, he had a guilty look on his face coming down the wicket. He didn't want to look at the umpire.
Well, I guess your question is, where did it hit him? Because it hit him on the front foot. That front foot is on leg stump. I think Gajar would just say it's going down. I think it's a good decision in the end, because it is going on with the arm.
Yeah, it's not enough room after it contacted the pad to know where it was going to turn. And it looked like it was just going to continue on with the angle. It's this time much easier. Shot by Mukamala, stroked down the ground for a single. 9 runs in the over. 83 for 1. At the halfway point of this USA chase, in the second match of this Stars and Stripes Summit Series, presented by Steak, we're going to take a drinks break, and we'll be back for the rest of the USA chase.
जितौं 10 लाखको उपहार यसपालिको चाडबाडमा स्क्रैच कार्ड मार्फत जित्नुहोस् 10 लाखसम्मको नगद उपहार साथै चुज योर स्किमबाट छान्नुहोस् रु 10,000 सम्मको थप स्क्रैच कार्ड वा 12,500 बराबरको 5 वर्ष एएमसी प्याकेज वा 7 वर्षसम्म बाइ वन गेट वन सर्भिसिङ फ्री अनि बिग बाइक्समा 1 लाखसम्मको डिस्काउन्ट र यो स्किम होन्डा इजी फाइनान्समा पनि लागू हुनेछ।
पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गरौ
प्राकृतिक राख भएको विश्वासिलो गुणस्तरीय अनि राम्रो नो कम्प्रोमाइज विथ भारत साउजी
विजयजी बडो स्मार्ट हुनुहुँदो रहेछ क्वालिटी हेर्नु हुँदो रहेछ मूल्य होइन
मुटु चाहिन्छ मुटु
नेपाल र युएसए बीच ऐतिहासिक T20 सिरिज
पैसा पठाऊ ठाउँको ठाउँ फोन पे डिरेक्ट नगद छोडाऊ फोन पे गरौ
हाम्रो चाडबाड होन्डाको खुसियाली बारमा जितौं 10 लाखको उपहार यसपालिको चाडबाडमा स्क्रैच कार मार्फत जित्नुहोस् 10 लाखसम्मको नगद उपहार साथै चुज योर स्किमबाट छान्नुहोस् रु 10,000 सम्मको थप स्क्रैच कार वा 12,500 बराबरको 5 वर्ष एएमसी प्याकेज वा 7 वर्षसम्म बाई वन गेट वन सर्भिसिङ फ्री अनि बिग बाइक्समा 1 लाखसम्मको डिस्काउन्ट र यो स्किम होन्डा इजी फाइनान्समा पनि लागू हुनेछ
आज पनि तातो मोमो खाने
No, senor. Pizza, please.
तातो मोमो खाने हो
Pizza coming.
क्या भाइ
Pizza.
Why choose between your favorites when you can have both? Introducing Pizza Hut's all-new Momo Mia.
मोमो मिया
The best of both worlds on one plate. Momo Mia Pizza. Test the epic. Starting at $7.29. Pizza Hut.
In the USA, County 4 TV back in Nepal. The early risers waking up in the morning to watch this contest. The battle between Gulshan Jat and Sai Mukamal continues as Mukamal strokes another single down the ground.
It's been an exciting first two games so far, Peter. This one's setting up to be a really exciting finish. Again, the USA, ahead of the game at the moment. But a wicket here for Nepal, and you can just start to make inroads. We've seen for the USA at times, in chases, you just create a couple of wickets. You just create the sense of confusion out there in the middle. They haven't had that real glue in that middle order. A lot of it rests on Anjes Gels and Saitej and Mukamala.
Well, they struggled chasing against the Netherlands in August. We're much better at it down in Namibia against Namibia and the UAE. And the two matches they played at this venue in the World Cup in June, that famous chase against Canada, and then a historic win against Pakistan. Can we call that one a successful chase? Because after all, the scores were level. They goofed up a bit at the end. They had that match in the bag, and they tried to make it as dramatic as possible by letting it go to the Super Over. Nitish Kumar very nearly was going to be the scapegoat. Wound up hitting a boundary off the final ball to send it to the Super Over. As Mukamala with a very firm drive, but picks out Rijan Dakel. Had it cover sweeper for just one. And it took Aaron Jones and Saurabh Netravalkar in the Super Over to make everybody forget about the final two-over sequence that Nitish Kumar had.
I would call it a success, Peter. You won the game. You got to the Super Over where you wanted. I think that's the key factor. And again, the big thing about the World Cup was that there was a sense of calm out there in the middle in those types of matchups. Again, Nitish Kumar's come in there in a position where he doesn't normally bat. That's more of a Shahin gear spot to bat in. Nitish Kumar, more of a top-order player, comes in against Haris Rauf with mid-off up in the ring and gets 4 runs. So that's what's missing right now on this side.
Well, they haven't had to go to the middle order because this partnership between Gauss and Mukamala has been so prodigious for USA over the last month and a half. Yeah, what I remember most about that final over and Nitish Kumar hitting the boundary off Haris Rauf, there was no celebration for him. It was a gigantic gulp in his throat. It was a sigh of relief. Thank God. At least I've kept the match going.
Well, there might not have been celebrations on the field from Nitish Kumar. There was plenty of celebrations off of it from everyone supporting the USA side of things.
Mukamala fans on this one wants a wide, doesn't get it. He got the benefit of the doubt earlier against Gulshan Jan, Gulshan's first over in the 7th. This time Samir Bandekar sides with number 15 in the Nepal jersey.
I think Mukamala was undone by the movement he did across his stumps, moved outside the off stump on that occasion, and The wide line moves with the batter, and Smirbandakar reckoned that it's inside where the wide line now was.
Another heave from Mukamala. Fetches nothing. Another dot ball to end the over. 4 runs from it. 87 for 1 after 11.